Hey kids, I'm under quarantine again. I had contact with a family member over break who then was diagnosed with COVID shortly thereafter. This leaves me um, out until Thursday of next week. So, let me adjust this. What that means is I'm going to be doing a few recordings. I'm going to do a recording for this week and a recording for next week. This is this week's recording. So for both DP Path and non-DP Path, DP Path and non-DP Path students, there's going to be a weekly assignment. One for this week, one for next week. The weekly assignment let's start with non-DP Path. Your uh, your research paper is going to be your final for this entire semester. So if you haven't done much work, I've still got a few students, about 20, who've done zero, nothing, no work. That's not good. So just letting you know, if you get it down to the wire and you don't do this research paper, you're going to get a zero on the final for the semester. I'm doing my best here to walk you through the process. I've walked you through the process before. If you have any questions at this point, I'm not allowed to be on Zoom with kids while I'm under quarantine, but I'll answer any email questions you may have. Just send them to me. On the other hand, my instructions are going to be in the assignment. So the assignment you're going to get for this week is a recap. It's going to be two assignments. One is the outline, one is primary sources. Why? Because I had a lot of students not complete the outline, or do the outline but not the conclusion. The conclusion is super important. Conclusion is essentially the linchpin of the whole thing. In a good research paper, you're going to conclude with actual conclusions. Based on the research, I can conclude this, right? So I want to see that. So a lot of people got 85s because they lacked a conclusion. So let's fix those. And if you've already got 100, then you're good. It's going to be an easy week. You just copy paste your outline, upload it to this week's assignment, but know that we're taking it a little slow, so I want to give everybody the chance to catch up. So you need to complete that outline. Excuse me. The other assignment is similar. It's primary sources. I want to redo this one because I won't say most, say about half students did not have actual primary sources. If you're still puzzled on what a primary source is, it's going to be an academic study from Pew Research or Axios or some sort of people who actually do survey research or polling data or go out and actually take numbers of things that are happening via studies, like in science, like actual scientific research. It will not be a list or an overview of things you can do to blah, blah, blah. Those kind of websites tend to take research and aggregate it and feed it back to you simply. You want to go to where they get their data from. What's funny is most of those websites, I looked at the website and I saw where they got their data from. They literally link it in the websites kiddos were putting up, which means that either the kiddos didn't look too carefully at their own sources, which means I'm doing more work on their sources than they are. That's not good. Or you don't understand the concept of a primary source. Primary source is where that data is initially gathered. So university research, scientific research, polling data, whatever it is. Interviews count as primary sources. Somebody asked me that. So if you've got interview data, that works. So I'm redoing the primary sources assignment. That's where you got to have two primary sources, one for each research question. Most of you have already done that, but some of you got 50s because it was a redo. I want that to be redone. Otherwise, if you got 100s, just copy paste. This is going to be an easy week for you. We're giving people time to catch up because we're going to start working on our rough draft next week. Okay, so that's it for non-DP. Let's talk about DP. DP, I'm super proud. Almost all of you completed your TOK essay. Some of you didn't complete it on time or only showed me the rough draft, but the rough draft was long enough to count, even though we couldn't quite get that final draft done in time. That's okay if you've noticed your grade book. If I saw your rough draft, I still gave you credit in the grade book, even though you're off, you haven't gotten credit for TOK according to the IB, but if you got everything done in time, you got IB credit and good grade book grades. So what are you doing now? Well, first I want to talk to people who haven't completed the essay yet are listed on DP Path. You need to complete that essay. It doesn't have to be the best in the world, but it has to be 1,200 words or so. It's got to be decent. I'll help you out with the same way I helped everybody else out with it, through meetings or whatever. But you got to complete that essay. That way you can complete the final, because your final grade in my class is going to be that essay. So whenever it comes time, we're here in May and we're at the end of the year, and I'm filling in final grades. Everybody gets 100 for completing the TOK essay. It's grueling. It's big. It's worth it. Um, so even if you did not complete it on time and you complete it, say, in the next month or so, that's okay. I'll still give you credit for the final. So you need to do that essay if you didn't do it. For those who did do the essay, and those who didn't, just wanting to know what's going on this semester, or what's going on this quarter, I should say. It's we're working on CAS projects, and I'm getting in contact with Lydia Soga, who's the CAS coordinator. Try to reach out to her. Hopefully she'll get back to me within a day or two, and we can talk about how she can better use my class, because that was what we're going to do, is we're going to use this class as a sort of launch pad for your CAS projects, for continuing to work on them, hopefully continuing and not starting from scratch. So your assignment's simple. I want you to tell me what CAS project you're going to work on or are working on. If you are working on it, great. If you haven't even thought about it, you need to think about it and put one up there. If you don't even know what CAS is, I don't have time to tell you in this recording, because I'm supposed to keep it under 10 minutes or else I get in trouble for working too much under quarantine. So I'll just put it this way. You're all big boys and girls here on the DP Path and TOK. You know how to look things up. Type in IB and CAS. Search for what a CAS project is, what people have done. Search for ideas. Look it up. Make it happen. Document your progress in a journal through your work. They're going to want to see that. And that's it. So buy a journal and figure out what your CAS project's going to be. And if you don't know what CAS is, look it up. That's a good place to start. And that's an easy assignment. Just write a little, few sentences, tiny paragraph on what your CAS project is looking like. And we're waiting for contact from Lydia Soga to move forward on anything she thinks she wants you to do, in particular using my class period. So that's it. Check Schoology, everybody. Assignments are going to be there. Complete them. That's it. That's all I have to say. I will be back in about a week. Let's get it done. And once again, all DP students who completed their essays, I'm very, very proud of you. Even if you haven't, no shame. Get it done for the final. Goodbye.